really exciting thing about living in Toronto is they've often described as an upside down San Francisco with these ravines. One thing we're looking for today is white pine. It's the provincial tree of Ontario. You can see here, if you look down, there's 2 old growth white pine. So we're gonna march out there and see if we can see any signs of seed development. Just another notable thing, that you have a big black cherry, and if you see from the bottom of the snow, all the woodpecker damage, or not damage, just the wood that it's been pecking off of the tree. So this is a piece of basswood. What you'll see is, we'll just take off a little tip off the end here. If you look at the buds, they're really large, and you can eat it. And then the inside part is like a little pea, and that's what deer eat all year. They're going around eating these buds, and the basswood is the one that's so good, even people can eat it. So we're standing here now at the tree we saw from the bridge. We thought it was 2 trees, but when we get here, we see it's actually 2 trunks, and it actually has got 3 tops here. There's old boards, so this would have been an old tree house. Tree forts are a great way for engaging with nature for kids and adults, and as long as it's done in a way that's okay for the tree and safe for people. The white pine is the provincial tree of Ontario. It's got the best quality lumber for most uses. It's kind of like a super tree.
Kind of fun being able to walk across what we know is a little creek,
yeah.
You know, some water. Normally we'd never be able to walk on this, but...
Yeah, it's nice to get a good, yeah.
I mean, I hope we're not gonna step through.
I think we're fine. And, you know, if we did, like as you can see here, I think...
Whoa!
I hope you got that on film. There we go. Oh, wow.
Oh no.
Okay. You know, this is part of the adventure. This goes to show how exciting it is. Tree watching is not for the faint of heart. I've been doing this my whole life, and I fell through the ice. It goes to show you that you've always got to be even more careful than you think, because it can happen to anyone. Always stay off ice when you can, and only go on ice after you've confirmed that it's thick, clear ice. So what you want to do is the opposite of what we just did. So behind me, you'll notice a willow tree that has clearly fallen down maybe 5 or 10 years ago, but you can see it's still very much alive. All the branches have now reorientated, and they're growing up with all this new growth. And they're very, very resilient trees. Willows are, they're almost impossible to kill. So if you're ever feeling down, and you can look to the willow tree and get some inspiration, and just keep on going, get back up, keep on going. All over the surface of the snow are literally millions of seeds coming down from the birches and the elms. And right now, part of the reason is that there's not many seed predators. So now is a pretty safe time for the seeds to go down and fall into the litter. An interesting thing about hemlock is its ability to grow in shade and even produce more shade. It creates these microclimates of being really, really cold. We're concerned about a warming planet. We want to keep conifers on the environment for their ability to keep the understory cool. So you can see again this kind of classic thing where the squirrels come along. It knew that underneath the snow at this exact location, it had buried 20 to 30 acorns, and it's dug it out in here, and it's taken all the acorns out and got its winter snack. So animals that stash things like squirrels and chickadees have quite a developed hippocampus. And actually, even if you look at humans, so for instance, taxi drivers, cab drivers, their hippocampus literally enlarges after years of operating cabs. Their understanding of the geographical distribution of roads actually increases the size of their hippocampus. Another great thing about the winter is the tracks. See, here's a squirrel running up to the tree, but you can see all kinds of things. You can see squirrels, you can see coyotes, you can see deer. When an owl comes down to capture something, it'll leave its wing impressions on the snow and its feet there. So you look at it and you look at the size of it, and you know you can start to narrow it down. You'll notice this right around the tree. It's melted, and this comes down to just the physics of called the albedo effect and the refraction of light. So what's happening here is, because this is dark, it's melting at the base of the tree. And guess what's going to happen in the spring? Where are you going to find the first wildflowers? At the base of big old trees. You get the spring ephemerals blooming here, yeah. So at the base of this tree here, you can see there's some coyote scat, and this is where it's basically a long fur ball, like a cat or a dog would do. And so it's eaten some, probably a squirrel or a small rabbit or something, digested it, and then coughed up the fur. So you can see up here, there's a nest, right? This is from a songbird. I'm gonna put this back when I'm done, but songbirds, part of their annual breeding ritual is to build a new nest every year. So they won't reuse a nest. The birds that do reuse nests are things like birds of prey, owls, and will reuse stick nests. Every species of bird has quite a unique architectural form and way of building a nest. So you can look at the nest and determine what it is, and you can see all the building materials. They've got a beech leaf in here. So if you live in the Cedarvale area, I'd encourage you to get out and go for a hike in the winter. With all the leaves gone, you can see the old growth trees, you can see the tracks in the snow from the animals. And there's a lot of things that you can't see other times of year, so it's fun to get out in the winter.